One thing that I've always hated about crochet beanies is the fact that they have a lot of extra fabric up here. So today we're doing a pattern with no extra fabric on top. It lays super flat on your head. Let me just show you from the back so that you can see how flat it really is. Hi cuties, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Here we do a lot of crochet tutorials. And y'all were loving my last hat tutorial, so I decided since it's beanie season and the weather is getting colder to do another hat tutorial. I'm really proud of how this beanie came out. I'm actually so happy. I'm really not super like a beanie girl, but this is gorgeous. I'm obsessed. So I hope y'all also enjoy the pattern, and don't forget to comment down below your thoughts if you have any questions or comments, and give it a like if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing. Look through my page and see if you like the content that I do, and let me know what you want to see more of. Let's get started with this pattern. I'm really excited. So to start off, you can start off with any weight yarn, but I like to use a 3 to 4 weight cotton. And I like to size down my hook. So for the chain, I'm going to be using a 4.5 millimeter hook, and for the base for a tighter stitch, I'm going to be using a 4 millimeter hook. And we're going to make this hat so that it tapers off at the top, so that you don't have any extra fabric. Starting off with a 4.5 millimeter hook, we are going to make a chain that reaches from the crown of your head to the top of your lip. So for reference, once you have the correct length of the chain, switch to a 4 millimeter hook for a tighter stitch. And we are going to start off with a half double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So yarn over, go into this chain, pull up a loop, and pull through all 3. And half double crochet all the way down until you reach the final 8, and I'll show you what to do from there. This is how it should be looking. I have double crocheted all the way down until I reach the final 8. Now in the next 4, you are going to make a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the final 4, you are going to make a slip stitch. So pull through, don't yarn over, and pull through. Make sure that you're making these slip stitches pretty loose so that you can go into it in the next row. And this is how it should be looking so far. Now we are going to chain 1 and turn, and this is where we start the 4-row repeat. So I'm going to show you how that looks. We are going to go in back loop only. So you see those 2 V's. You're going to only pick up the back loop. So 1 slip stitch, 2 slip stitches, back loop only, 3 slip stitches, and 4. And now 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we continue with the half double crochets, back loop only into every single stitch all the way down. And I will meet you at the end once you finish your half double crochets. So this is how it should be looking so far. And this is row 1 of the 4-row repeat that we will be continuing throughout the entire project. So in this one, you are going to chain 1 and turn and do back loop only half double crochets and 4 single crochets, but don't go into the slip stitches. So go ahead with your back loop only half double crochets all the way down. As you get to the end here, you can count backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first single crochet starts here. Once you finish the half double crochets, you can check here. This was 1, 2, 3, 4 of the slip stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the single crochets. So now we are going to do back loop only single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, and we are going to leave those last 4 slip stitches, chain 1 and turn, back loop only single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now continue down this row with back loop only half double crochets. Once you finish your half double crochets, this is what your project should be looking like. And don't worry, we will fix this. So go ahead and chain 1 and turn, and continue doing your back loop only half double crochets all the way down until you get to your 4 single crochets, and I'll show you what to do from there. So finishing your half double crochets right here, you can count backwards 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the single crochets, the 4 single crochets you will be making. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we are going to go into all our stitches. So reaching down into this slip stitch, you are going to make a slip stitch. And make sure that this one, I like to make sure that this one's a little bit tighter than the rest, and so that it tapers down nicely. So do 4 slip stitches. And there you go, this is how it should be looking. So it's gonna taper off really nicely, and then you're not gonna have that extra fabric on top. So now we just repeat that. So I'm going to put the 4-row repeat right here that you're going to continue for the rest of the project, for those of you who got it already. And for those of you who still need a little bit of help, I'm going to go through the 4-row repeat one more time with you. So chain 1 and turn. And this first one, we go into all stitches. Put a back loop only slip stitch for 1, 2, 3. I made these a little bit too tight. And 4 slip stitches. And now single crochets for 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then back loop only half double crochets the entire way down. Once you get to the end, this is how it should be looking. Chain 1 and turn, and now we are going to go into all the half double crochets and the 4 single crochets, but leaving the slip stitches out. So go ahead, back loop only, half double crochets until you get to that last 8. And again, you can count backwards to make sure you're done with your half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these 4 will be your single crochets. So back loop only single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't go into your slip stitches. From here, chain 1 and turn. Back loop only single crochets. 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the rest half double crochets all the way down to the end. And once you get to the end with your back loop only half double crochets, the project should be looking like this. So now chain 1 and turn, and now we are going to go into all stitches including the slip stitches. So go ahead with your half double crochets until you reach the final 8. And into these final 4 back loop only single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now reach down into this slip stitch to do a back loop only slip stitch. Remember to make the first one a little bit tighter, but try to keep your slip stitches pretty loose so that you can go back into them. And that's how it should be looking. So there you go. Just continue to repeat this 4-row repeat throughout the entire project until it fits snugly around your head. And if you get confused, you can just rewind and go back to that 4-row repeat. That's all you continue to do throughout. So continue to do this until you have enough rows to fit around your head, and I will be back to show you what to do next. So now that you've finished the amount of rows that will cover your head and fit snugly around your head, I ended with about 53. And once you finish that row, just take a long piece of yarn, because now we are going to sew and connect these 2 edges. So cut off a piece of yarn. I probably should have done it longer than that. And pull this through. Grab your needle. And now we are going to sew these together, starting with matching these up. Start by finding your first slip stitch, which is right here, and go through both loops. And then on this side, through both loops. And now go through here and through the next slip stitch. So we are just going from right to left, left to right, and back and forth. Come back through this side. And find the corresponding stitches. So you're just going through both loops on each side. Now back through this side and through this last slip stitch. Picking up both loops on both sides. And just continue that same way all the way down. You can also go ahead and just slip stitch with your crochet hook or single crochet all the way down. Either way works, but I really like this method of sewing. So continue to do this until you get to the end. And then I will show you how to close up this top part so that we don't have any extra fabric and so that it lays completely flat on your head. So finish this up and I will come back to show you how to do that part. And once I finish sewing all the way down, I like to just do the same thing all the way back up. Just back and forth through here. So we're just gonna tie a knot right here and weave the ends in later. And you can actually leave this string because we are going to sew a circle onto the top. So whatever you have left here, you can just leave it for now. So now I'm gonna show you how to make the very top of the hat so that it lays flat. Still using your 4mm hook, you are going to make a magic circle. So to make a magic circle, put your yarn across your finger, hold it with your thumb, and use these two fingers to create an X, and grab this with your pinky. Now take your hook, go under this one, over this one, and twist. Now chain one, and take it off your finger. That is how you make a magic circle. So you have your chain one, and we are going to do 6 half double crochets into the magic circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now pull the middle part tight. Now skip that chain one and go into your very first stitch with a slip stitch. Now chain up one, right into this same stitch right here, put 1 half double crochet and then 2. So in this next row there will be 12 stitches total, so 2 half double crochets into each stitch. Now you can go ahead and count and make sure you have the right number of stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's perfect. Make a slip stitch into this very first stitch that you made. Pull through and pull through this. Pull that through, and now you have your circle. Go ahead and just weave your ends in real quick before we move on to the next step. So now we are going to be sewing this circle onto this right here. So now you are going to push this circle in like this and just fit it in. So when you go through the stitch, try to go through this right here where you did the slip stitches. So go through this stitch and that row, then through this stitch and this row. You see what I mean? This stitch and this row, this stitch and this row. And you can also, let me just get through this, hold on, there we go. And once you put this on your head, it's gonna look amazing and straight once these loosen up a little bit. And there will be no extra fabric on your head. So let me show you how it looks on. So yeah, that's how it will be looking. Obviously, when I lay it flat here, it looks a little bit wonky, but the second that you put it on your head, it's absolutely perfect and lays very flat. You have no extra fabric. If you want to do a finishing touch, you can also single crochet around this border. I won't be doing it on camera, but just put a single crochet into here where these little holes are, and then into here, and you could just do that all the way around. And that's it. I hope that you really enjoyed this beanie. I'm really happy that I could help you with a pattern that doesn't have extra fabric on top, because that always bugged me a lot. But I love how this turned out, and I hope you love it too. Let me know in the comments how it went for you. Oh, and don't forget to weave in your ends. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays, everybody, and stay warm.